Hi guys, we are officially 2 weeks out from the Olympia, and I am bringing you guys into my morning. A little bit of a different morning today just because we have to go get our labs done. Just trying to see where I'm at right now so we can establish a great post-show program. So 9:46, we're gonna head to the gym right now. Gonna do some cardio, have 20-minute walking, which is nothing, but gonna head over there, do that. And I've been enjoying the red light sauna for 20 minutes after cardio. Now we'll see if we do the sauna today or later, just so I don't get too backed up with my meals because it's already late and I had to be fasted for the labs. And I finally can drink my pre-fasted cardio anti-catabolic drink, which I love. Amino Chem and the cranberry pomegranate or blackberry lemonade is chef's kiss, the way to go. So a full scoop of that, and then I have glutamine, super good for your gut health, recovery. I have the carnitine and the lipocyte IR, which is the fat burner of choice this prep around. Kind of cut back a little bit on the lipocyte IR just because we were in a really good place and we didn't want things to accelerate too much, because in the past, going to Pittsburgh, California, and having a change of weather like really accelerates my body. So we're in a really good spot, and that's for us. Let's get moving. Let's get moving and grooving. Alright, so cardio has been reduced, so we're going to go onto a 3.2 miles per hour walk, incline max at 3. So literally just making things moving. It's extremely boring for me, coming from just craziness on the step mill and just really pushing myself, but preserving the body as much as we can right now. So treadmill, I haven't been on a step mill for about 4 weeks now. Sometimes bike, sometimes elliptical, but even that, it's too much cardio at this point. And so yeah, I'll just be on the treadmill, put some music on. Now I can do a little bit of work, which normally I couldn't. So I'll be on here for 20 minutes, not 1 minute more. I've been posing every day, so I'm doubling down on the foam rolling and just stretching for a little bit, just because my back is tight and this entire side where I'm posing on, as much as I'm trying to be balanced, it's always a little bit more sore. So really releasing all the posterior chain and the hip flexors as much as I can. Lower back. so this is meal number 1. We have this in the back. The washer and dryer. Because we already started packing. Why do I say we? This is so funny.
You and your fans.
All of us, guys. We've all started packing for the Olympia. I'm leaving in 2 days, so I want to be ahead and just pack basically what I use every day. This time I'm bringing with me all of my actual containers of supplements. So all my omega-3, the EvoVite, EvoLug, I'm bringing with me the Light and Tight, I'm bringing with me Probiotic DR, Evozyme. All of these actual containers are coming with me. That's why they're packed away. I put them in my pill container every Sunday. So I'm bringing my pan, my actual pan with me, my little frother with me, and my NutriBullet. So that way, when I'm away, it's as similar as home as it can be with the things that I use every day. So these are gonna be the last thing that I obviously pack because I'm using them every day with my meals. But for the most part, clothing wise, we're all pretty much packed. My heels, the hair, the merch, I get it delivered there. So a little bit of logistics, honestly, because we're going from Pittsburgh Sunday, staying there Monday, filming Road to the Olympia with JM Mannion. Then I'm meeting Kim there, and then we're flying from Pittsburgh to Cali to his facility, where I'm gonna be staying there for a week in an Airbnb with a rental car. But being able to, being together, tuning in every day, twice a day, morning, mid-afternoon, because that's around that time we're gonna go on stage at the Olympia, and drive to Vegas on Monday the 6th. And so my last flight is technically going to be the 29th, which is still 2 weeks away, still far away, still being able to be acclimated. And then a ride to Vegas is 4 hours, 3.5 hours. And so it's not going to be too hard on the body, and really managing the water retention and all this stuff. I still got compression socks with me though, and being on the safer side, but yeah, we're ready. We have everything. So now I'm finishing my breakfast. I have 3 grams of oats, my egg whites in there, a cup of egg whites, and spinach, cinnamon, stevia, salt, blended NutriBullet, pour it in the pan. I've been doing this for like, God, almost 8 years now. And I like to substitute once in a while nut butters to an avocado. So 38 grams of avocado. And we're eating this. Yeah, that was a big bite. Peace. Alrighty, this is what we have in store for today's pre-workout. So I'm just gonna show both of these because I always go back and forth, right? EVP Extreme, EVP 3D, and the Blackberry Lemonade. Fantastic flavor, definitely made the top one. I do amino chem and Blackberry Lemonade if I can. If I have it, I don't have it because I use all of it. And then I will do either 3D or Extreme. Now, caffeine wise, today I'm good. I could probably use a little bit of the Extreme that has the stem in it. Sometimes I would do half and half, but since it's a refeed day, I'm going to use the EVP 3D, which do not underestimate the EVP 3D. It is fantastic. It does make you super focused, but it doesn't have the stem. When I have a day like this that I can actually have a little bit more calories and leverage, I would use the EVP AQ. I don't have the EVP EQ, but you know what I got? You know what I got? That's going to be Perfect. The RTD Extreme NO, which is a mix of all three of the most amazing product of pre-workout side of thing of Evogen in one bottle. So I'm going to do 1 scoop of EVP 3D today, bring this with me to the gym and just sip on it. One bottle like this normally lasts me like about 3 workouts, and it has the EVP AQ in it, the glycerol. I'm just gonna have to stay super hydrated, but I'm chasing the pump today. We're training glutes, and I can't wait to see you guys at the gym. Only gonna do 2 sets here. So I'm making sure the last couple reps, I really squeeze hard at the top and hold the contraction for, you know, at least 2 seconds. About 12 to 15 reps. Felt like a little bit of a disconnect on that whole right side, which is normally my more connected side. And after checking all the boxes, you know, am I compensating on this side? I'm braced. Everything else, I know it's coming from the foot. I think it's just because I've been wearing my heels a lot more. Hence the reason why footwear is not something to overlook, especially on spine vertical loaded exercises or anything that you're pressing with the floor with your feet, stuff like that. So a little bit of sensory activation before we hit our next set. This is going to be our more like heavier unilateral movement before going into a bilateral, either a leg press or a squat today, I'm not sure. And then some RDLs, and then we'll be done. Guys, I feel this in the glute tie-in area at the bottom. So in those compound movement, you can essentially target what you want, right? Because I can feel my entire glute throughout the full range of motion depending on where I'm at. If your struggle area is more on the tie-in area, lower glute, I would spend time into that stretch, play around with your knee stretch, your torso. So there's a lot of variables to consider on a movement that is called a split squat, right? It's a bit more complex, but once you nail it, you can actually activate the part of the glutes that you want. So spend a little bit of the time at the bottom, but not too much. I'm really trying to focus on the top. So I keep on pressing the ground away, and I keep my chest up high. And once I reach that, I keep going as much as I can, not with my back, but braced, scapula down. And I keep going with my back, and then I start feeling it all the way to the top of the glute. Some people say there's no tension at the top, but you create what you want. It's mind over matter. And it's a bit of science, but whatever. Bodybuilder before science, right? It's like the chicken and the egg. Couple things we can do. I think I really want to stay in the upper glute area. So I have 3 in mind right now. Actually, I have 4. First would be reverse hack squat, but partial at the top. So barely halfway down and pushing, pressing down the ground and staying at the top. People always hate me with this one, but they just don't understand the context and the concept. And then hyper extensions, but the one that they have is really 45. I would need like a 90-degree hyper. We can do Kimbo's, the GG exercise with the ball that we did the last workout. And then I definitely want to do like a narrow stance, regular leg press. So let's actually go to the leg press, and then we'll do a partial big squeezy exercise at the top for our next one. Set. So basically just rechecking the apparatus, seeing where I need to place my feet and stuff. So very lower weight. And I'm just gonna I'm gonna see if I go all the way down, if it's too much. Might be too much. I really don't want my hip flexors to kick in so much, but it's pretty good. Make sure my tailbone is glued to the pad. Chin up, chest up, making sure your knees are in line with your toes. You can do a wider stance also, it doesn't matter, but you just want to keep that connection from the ground or the plate going all the way to the body part that you're trying to activate. Yeah, I think that's gonna be good. And you don't want to do the movement with your knees. So it's not a knees out, knees in motion. It's a pressing motion. So do the movement using the ground force with your feet to press with your tailbone and keep your head and your chin up. And you're going to feel it in your glutes. Then you can just vary your foot height or your foot position instead of having everything going on with your knees opening, your knee closing, and just getting away from it. This leg is always a little bit more stubborn with that. I always try to compensate, so I catch myself like bringing my knee back on track with my toes and my feet. All right, first working set. 12 to 15 reps.
Are the glutes gluten?
Gluten. I ain't gluten free today. My glutes are gluten. So this is as if I was choosing to do a hyperextension. This is just to show and kind of understand my mentality when it comes to training. It doesn't, of course it matters to have great machines, but the machine doesn't make the workout. The name of the exercise doesn't make the workout. Like, you make the machine work the way you want it to work. So in my head, what I'm executing here is as if I had a 90-degree, 45-degree hyperextension, and I just hinge at the hip without having obviously the pad at the hip, which gives me a lot more freedom to just reach a bigger extension at the very top. And I have it reverse bended, so it's not super heavy at the bottom range of the motion, because I, again, want to target solely, or like as much as I can, my upper glute. So then when I keep on pressing the ground away and myself away with my shoulder, I keep everything braced. I really go to the most extended, where my hips cannot reach more. And then I press down with my toes even harder to see if I can have even one more inch sometimes can make the difference, especially when you're competing at the Olympia, because everybody's so close. So I'm exploring those range of motion. If you have them available, obviously that's where flexibility comes in and all of this stuff. But I think that's what I've created this year with Pilates and doing a lot more intuitive training, is creating space and then filling those space that will eventually make me just like 1% better in the package that we brought last year's Olympia.
Boom.
Alright, so right now we're training. We're actually doing the same split that we've been doing for the last 22 weeks. We've added a little bit of sprinkle of shoulders on upper body days. Like one set, of side lateral, and then one rear delts whenever I do chest and arms. With that being said, same program, mostly same exercise, but right now, as we're 2 weeks out from the Olympia and the position that we're in, we're keeping workouts pretty short, resting period pretty short too. Not trying to gain muscle, lift weight, getting injured, anything like that, so I stay within the movement and the ranges that I feel comfortable with. And that's pretty much it. I want to say I just come here, I get a pump. Someday, sometimes I don't, but today we had food in our body. We had the perfect pre-workout cocktail to get a good pump, which being 2 weeks out and getting a pump feels phenomenal. So thanks to Eva Jen. But workout is the same. You don't need to change a lot of things. You just need to like find what you're comfortable with, and then simple change of variables with range of motion, tempo, can go so far, so far. So yeah, pretty much it. Keeping the body slow and steady, kind of filling out a little bit more now that we reached the conditioning that we wanted. So muscle is full of glycogen pushing against the skin, and we're gonna bring a very curvy look on stage, about 3.5 to 4 pounds up from last year. So I'm so excited for this.